Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome to another segment of Elephants in the Room. You can go to Lorenza Coleman on YouTube and be sure to watch, subscribe, and hit the likes. But today we're talking about a very, very sad, sensitive subject. It involves a young man by the name of Rasheem Young. Rasheem Young lived in Mississippi. He worked for a company, and he said while he was on the job, he was having some trouble with some of the owner of the company, and that he was being followed by three truckloads of white men. And he actually texted his mom about the situation, and he came up missing in October. His body was found in November, his remains, that is. And the interesting thing about this case is that the sheriff had said that there was no foul play, even though they found him decapitated and dismembered. So I got a quick video I want you to watch, and we'll comment on it once we're completed.
Welcome back to Law and Crime Daily. We go now to Mississippi, where a disturbing story is getting a lot of attention. A man missing since last fall was found dead with his head severed from his body. That's according to an independent autopsy released by his family. Despite apparently brutal injuries at the time Rasheem Carter's body was found, the sheriff's department said no foul play was suspected. The Carter family is now asking for a federal probe into the investigation. Carter's mother says Rasheem told her he was being targeted by white men in the community. Then, just days later, he went missing. According to the family's attorney, Ben Crump, Carter's head was removed and his spinal cord was found in a different area. Some of his body parts are reportedly still missing. The Mississippi State Medical Examiner's report states that the conditions of the remains make it difficult to pinpoint the time of death. The report lists both the cause and manner of death as undetermined.
This was a nefarious act. This was an evil act. Somebody murdered Rasheem Carter. And we cannot let them get away with this.
On October the 1st, my son texted me. This was after him and I had gotten off the phone. He said, me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, Mama. His name, which I can't say at this time, but if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, Mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me. And that's what he sent to me.
And then he went missing.
Nemo, what sense does it make for the police to say there is no evidence of foul play? He didn't dismember himself.
Yeah, that was a very poor statement by law enforcement down there in Mississippi, because in 4 months, they really haven't been able to figure out what happened here. And at best, you have wild animals and the body parts are scattered over 2 acres. But this is the type of case, I'm Team Ben Crump. You got to get the feds involved here. You got to figure out what happened, because if mom is right and he was really being chased by 3 truckloads of white men, you have a potential motive here. You may have a hate crime, you have a murder, and you can't figure it out. Law enforcement, you got to get feds involved so they can.
Yeah, I'm getting really Ahmaud Arbery vibes here, and I'm not liking it. Terry, law enforcement said they are waiting for the results of search warrants to rule out foul play. What do you think they're searching for at this point?
Well, the statement that he made to his mother, and that's in a text, so they can take a look at that, specifically name the individual he thought was behind this truckload of white men, he said, in the community chasing him. So that's where they need to start. They need to investigate and interview that particular individual. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, they need to track his phone, they need to track his car, they need to do GPS, and they need to check any of the individuals he may have communicated with, because that's going to tell us what happened to the victim on this day, because we know that he couldn't have decapitated himself.
Terry, you born in Mississippi? We should send you there to start the investigation. I think we'll wrap this up pretty quickly. Well, another family.
There you have it, YouTubers. Again, this young man's name was Rasheem Carter. He was 25 years old, and he was working for a company that he said he was having trouble with the owner, and that he was being followed. Now, what I find kind of peculiar about this whole thing is, why would the sheriff say there's no foul play involved when someone's being decapitated? How do you come to that conclusion so quick? Now, this happened in October, I believe. He came up missing. The body was found in November, I believe. And we're just now really hearing about it. It hadn't been getting much coverage, but now it's taken off. Um, this has Emmett Till vibes to me because what the mom is doing is she's allowing the body, the remains, to be seen. Very similar to what Emmett Till's mom did in 1955 when she had an open casket funeral for her son who was killed by uh, two white supremacist brothers. But I think in this case, we need to look at the DNA, and they did confirm that it was this young man. And they need to look at those texts. And from what my understanding is that witnesses are now coming forward. So we're going to follow this and see what becomes of it. And I want you to give your opinions. And again, like I always say at the end of the show, there are no wrong or right answers, just opinions. And I would appreciate your opinions. I appreciate also your subscribe and your likes. So until next time, have a wonderful day.